Hi everybody and welcome back to capitalforextraining.com. In this two-part video series we're going to be discussing a trading pattern called the double top. So what we're going to do is just split it into two sections or two videos. In this video we're going to be quite short, just identifying or going through how to identify a double top and discuss market conditions around it that you need to consider. And in the second video we're going to be discussing exactly how to trade this pattern using two indicators that are available for us. So let's get started. The first thing you need to consider when trading a double top is the fact that it appears at a top of a trend. Okay, it cannot appear halfway up the trend or 3/4 way up the trend. It has to appear at a top of an uptrend, and the reason for that is that it's because the double top is a trend reversal pattern. Okay, which means that once the trend reaches the top, you're looking to trade it in a downwards direction once the pattern itself is formed, and that's exactly what we've got here. Okay, the double top pattern itself. So what you got here is an uptrend, and the reason why we know that's the top of the trend is because it's higher than this peak here. Okay, that you can see here. You see where I'm drawing the line. Okay, so any point above this line is top of a trend. Okay, so when we get a in fact, let me just delete that for now. When we get a reversal back in a downwards direction, and then we'll get a reversal back in an upwards direction, and then another reversal back in a downwards direction, we have a double top pattern. Okay, and what actually forms or what actually identifies or defines this pattern is its own shape. Okay, and basically it looks like a letter M. Some people call it an upside down W for some reason, but that's that's up to you. So in terms of its formation, what a double top has to have is two peaks. Okay, so we've got peak number 1 there, a peak number 2 there. Before you even look into the peaks, obviously what is very important is that you decide or that you know that those two peaks appear at the top of the trend. So it needs to be higher than any swings swing highs like this one, that one here, and that one there. It needs to be above everything else, and that's exactly what we've got here. So we've got peak number 1 and we've got peak number 2. Now the second thing you need to consider is that those two peaks have to be at the same or similar level, okay, or similar price level. Okay, if they're up there, it's not a double top. If they're below here, it's not a double top. Okay, they need to be at a similar level if this indeed is going to be formed as a double top. So they are in this condition, in this scenario, so I'm just going to draw a line at the top here. Okay, then what you need to look into is something called a neckline, and the neckline is the lowest point between those two peaks. Okay, and that's exactly what we've got there. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so the area that you look into in terms of its definition is this in between those two lines where you see that letter M forming. Okay, but what you must 100% of the time when you trade this or to go to identify this pattern do is make sure that the pattern itself has a prior uptrend and it is the highest point of the uptrend, not halfway and not 3/4 of the way. Okay, and obviously the reason for that, as you might know, is that obviously this is a trend reversal pattern. So what you're looking for to trade in this scenario is not to go not to ride a trend and continue trading upwards. What you're looking to do is trade in the opposite direction because this is a trend reversal pattern. And the reason why this is a trend reversal pattern is because of those two peaks. Okay, those two peaks signify that the market has had two goes at breaking that price line. Okay, that particular price, and it's failed. Once it goes past the neckline, that's when you trade it. That's when the double top becomes apparent. Okay, but don't just trade it when you see it, because you need to watch the next video in terms of how to trade it, because believe you me, there is a lot of double tops formed in the market a lot of the time, and only about 50% of them are actually tradable. What you can see here is that obviously we've got a double top pattern forming, and soon as it's complete, the market shoots back up in the upwards direction. So it doesn't mean that the trend will continue down, okay? But you need to consider this when looking into double tops, because you will get a lot of fake double tops, and this continuation back in the upwards direction may occur at points like here, okay, which means that despite the fact that double top has formed, it was a fake one, okay. So what we're going to do, and obviously the trend has continued in the upwards direction, so what we're going to do in the next video when we discuss how to trade the double pattern is to ensure that you only trade genuine double tops, and there's only one way to identify this, and that's exactly what we're going to discuss in the next video. So, but for now, if you just ensure that your double top has a prior uptrend, it has two peaks that are at the same level, and it has a neckline which is the lowest point in between those two peaks, and that is how you identify a double top.